Hello boys and girls, how are you? Welcome to this third in the range of Revisionist Marston's Revisionist beer reviews. This time around we're going to be doing the Steam Beer. Yeah. Now for those that don't know anything about Steam Beers, the Steam Beer is generally speaking a beer brewed with a lager yeast at ale temperatures. When I say ale, again, I'm an Essex boy, I mean ale. Alright, so yeah, you get yourself your beer, you do whatever you want with it, and you use a lager yeast at ale temperatures. Hopefully that makes sense. Now on the bottle here it says Revisionist California Common Steam Beer, fermented at an elevated temperature. So you're looking at a lager style kind of beer, somewhere between a lager and an ale, but obviously it's got a lager yeast in there, but they've amped up the temperature to brew it at a sort of around about a ale temperature, kind of, maybe just a little bit lower temperature. Doesn't tell me anything about what's in this on this bottle. And as I looked at the bottle and it didn't tell me anything what was in it, I jumped onto their website and I tried to find out about what they've thrown in this. I couldn't find out anything, folks, so I'm just going to read what's on the back here. And Marston's Brewmaster, Genevieve Upton's Steam Beer, reviving a style made popular in California during the 1890s, which uses fermentation at an elevated temperature to produce an amber coloured lager / ale hybrid beer with a warming fruity flavour. So as regards to the what we're expecting to pick up of this particular beer, we're looking at sort of warming spicy flavours and sort of a biscuity malt in there probably, I would imagine. But we don't know until we open it. I could be completely wrong. That's the beauty of this, folks. I have done a steam beer myself, and the steam beer style. I have brewed a steam beer and it was perfectly pleasant, and it's no longer with me because I drank it. There may be a very light kind of citrus tone on this, but we won't know till we give it a pour. This time around I managed to dig out the big Spiegel glass of doom. However, it might be a little bit dirty, but if you've seen any little marks on the glass, try not to worry about it too much. There we go, we've got the same top as we had before. Open this up. The thing about the steam beer is that it does have a very particular smell about it, and that's all to do really, I think, with the way it's brewed, you know, with the lager yeast at elevated temperatures. But this is a sort of amber colour there. They've obviously used an amber malt in this particular brew. Let's see if I can just get rid of some of the haze on the glass there, folks, so you can get a better idea as to how clear it is. Very clear indeed. You can see me through it and I apologise for that. But that is an amber colour, isn't it? Maybe sort of a light amber colour rather than a dark amber colour, but it looks very nice. Again, decent amount of carbonation going on there. Let's have a little bit of a whiff, see if we can pick out anything. Now I'm picking out, smell wise, that kind of, and it's difficult to describe that, but it's a dry smell, and you only get it really when you brew these steam beers with the lager yeast at the higher temperatures. It gives off this kind of sort of dry aroma. Yeah, I can't explain it any better than that, folks. So all I can do is dive in. Now, I'm not expecting there to be an awful lot of flavours coming off of this. It's gonna be between a lager and a very light pale ale probably, but not a lot going on hop wise. But who knows what they've thrown in here, because it doesn't say on the bottle and it doesn't say on the website. It's a fairly new beer in the range, I think, this one. So let's give it a sip. Okay. I'm getting a malty tone on there. It's sort of like a biscuity. Yeah, it's not quite malty, folks, I guess, what I'm getting at. There's not very much going on other than that, really. It's is there any citrus in there? I'll have to have another little sip. I'm guessing most of the flavour is coming from the malt rather than anything else that may or may not be in there. Again, we don't know what's in there, folks, so I can only go by what I'm tasting, and it's mostly a malty profile. Now the one I made, I didn't throw too much in at all. It was mostly malt, so I suspect this is of a similar kind of brew. Having said that, maybe I'm picking out a very light kind of marmalade-y citrus tone. Very light though, very light indeed. It's, you know, you're having to search for it, which is why it's taken me so long to describe what I'm tasting. I'm gonna have to do a swish around the mouth, folks. Yeah, mostly malty. If you like the kind of biscuity malty flavour, this is going to be right up your street. It's only 4.7%. It's not a refreshing beer, I would say. I would probably struggle to drink more than maybe one or two of these, purely because it's not complex enough to keep me interested in wanting another one, because all I'm getting out of this is like biscuit malt kind of flavour. But that's okay. I mean, if you like malty beers, and some people do, some people don't like hoppy beers, some people don't like too much going on in their beer at all. If you like that kind of thing and it's your bag, then great. However, like I said, I have done a steam beer before. I've not done one since because it wasn't interesting enough for me personally. It wasn't my kind of thing. However, it would be wrong for me to say it's unpleasant, because it isn't. There's perfectly nothing wrong with this at all. It is drinkable. It's a beer. It's the steam beer style. Okay, so definitely you've got your lager yeast in there at a higher temperature, which gives you that kind of unique profile, a little bit dry and malty, and if that's your kind of thing, then this will be right up your street. For me, a little bit bland, not too much going on. I'm getting used now to the more hoppier beers, and particularly when it comes to Cascade and Citra and Centennial, those kind of lovely sort of fruity citrusy hops, and this hasn't really got much going on in it other than you know, the malt profile. So that's all I can say about it really, folks. If I had to score it out of 10, and I'll keep looking at the beer, okay, you probably see me do this on camera. I put a beer down, there it is, I put it down there, I might put it down there, I might put it down there. Once I put it down and I look at it for inspiration, you see, I look at it and I go, well, what else can I say about this beer? What is it shouting out to me? What can I get out of this particular beer? And it's purely an inspirational thing, because I'm just trying to figure out what more I can say about it. But in this instance, it's not very much to say. Is it any better or any worse than the other two beers that we've done a review on in this range? It would be unfair to mark this one against the other two beers, because all the beers we've done to date have been completely different styles, which is purely why I picked them. So for the style of a steam beer, which is what this is, it is a steam beer. It is a steam beer, folks. I can't, you know, say that it isn't a steam beer, and it doesn't taste like a steam beer, because it does. So on that basis, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Perfectly decent enough beer. However, for me, it's not complicated enough for me to want to go back to it and buy it again. So hopefully that means something to you, boys and girls. If that's your bag, you like the malty profile rather than the hot profile, then this is something for you to try. Also, give it a go yourself. All you need to do is get yourself some malt, get some Pilsner malt maybe, get yourself some lager yeast, and you know, mix it up a little bit. Brew the temperatures a little bit higher, somewhere between you know, a lager temperature and an ale temperature. So you're looking at somewhere probably around 16 degrees, something there or thereabouts. Not necessarily all the way up towards 20, 21, but somewhere between the two, yeah? And then you'll end up with a beer like this. Okay? Check it out, folks, at your local Tesco supermarket, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now. Ta-da!